everyone. This is Linda from Lilybug's Library. Just wanted to come to you today with a quick review of The Heiress, and it's by Rachel Hawkins, and it's coming out soon. I received it from NetGalley, from the author and publisher, so I'll thank them for that. So a lot of you are really going to like this book. It it involves murder. It involves lots of family drama, rich, greedy people, creepy old house. It's got all of those elements that a lot of people really enjoy. Um, I'll tell you what I think of it in a moment, but let me tell you a little bit about the story. So it involves Ruby McTavish, who is when she was a little girl, she disappears when she's left with her nanny, and they can't find her. And then there ends up being another family who has a daughter who has died, and it's thought that they kidnapped Ruby. And so they end up getting her back, and life goes on more or less normal. And she becomes part of this McTavish family again, this little girl. And is she Ruby, is she not Ruby? She spends her whole life kind of wondering that. Other people sometimes wonder it as well, including some of her like her aunt and her siblings and all of that. So as she grows up in this family, it's all about money. It's all about power. So she tries to be a good daughter and learn the business and all of these things. And but it's always a squabble with everyone in the family as to who's going to kind of inherit everything and who's going to be in charge of everything. So during that time of her being an adult, she also marries four different men who all die under odd circumstances. So she starts, being known as, a woman who killed them all, although, no one can prove it and no one's really sure. So she has that kind of hanging over her head a little bit. When the novel starts, she has already died, and she had adopted a son, Camden, when I'm not sure when exactly, I can't remember, but she adopted this son. So she has apparently left everything to him, but he's already moved away. He's already married to his wife Jules, and he doesn't really want anything to do with it. So Jules has convinced him to go back home, to kind of settle things with his family, to help them if they need help, whatever's going on. So they decide to make this trip back to the McTavish estate. So they get there, and all the people that are there all resent him because he's not really a McTavish. He was just adopted. He's just a foundling, and they're not very happy about it. So after that, the rest of the story is these letters that Ruby has left, and the things that they find out in these letters, and how it affects Camden and Jules and the rest of the family. They have, I think he's Ruby's, not, wouldn't be Ruby's son, must be Ruby's nephew, that's living there. His name is Ben. Could be her brother, but I feel like it's not. Anyway, there's a big family, so it's hard to keep them straight sometimes. But anyway, one of the characters, Ben, also seems really kind of evil and suspicious, and he's very entitled, even though he doesn't actually own anything. And he's not treating the people in the town very nicely, and Camden's trying to kind of fix that. And Camden also remembers when they were growing up, because apparently they're close in age. And he remembers, Ben kind of, hitting him and then joking about it, and, oh, I was just kidding. But Camden remembers, being in the tub and having these bruises everywhere where Ben was kind of beaten up on him. And he remembers being up on this mountain with Ben, and him carrying on so that Camden was afraid that he was going to fall. So there's been a lot of resentment there for a lot of years. There's also, I think it's Ruby's sister, Nell, who's in the house, and she's pretty old, but she too is very resentful of Cam, and I think she figures that she should have gotten everything. So they all have a reason for, wanting Cam out of there and or wanting him to sign over everything to them or something. And so the whole story is revolving around what happens once they get to this McTavish home. So I gave it 3.5 stars. Now, I'll tell you why. Because although it had all those great elements, I did find the first part of the book really hard to get into. I found it dragged. I couldn't. I just because it was mostly the letters from Ruby, I found it really hard to kind of just get involved in. And then I also like a book that has at least some redeeming characters. And I didn't really feel like any of them really were nice people. Any of them, I mean, every time you thought someone was maybe, yeah, they seem pretty good, but there was no one I could really root for. I mean, they all had they all had issues. They all had problems. So, I mean, not that we don't all have problems, but I need some kind of redeeming qualities, and I didn't really see that. So, in that way, I didn't care for it as much as I thought maybe I would. So, could be different for you. Maybe it doesn't matter to you if the characters have redeeming qualities. Maybe you're more interested in the twists and turns and the intrigue, and it certainly has lots of that. And lots of aha moments where, something will happen and you'll say, oh, whoa, I didn't know that was coming. So it's really good that way. Lots of suspense. But like I said, I didn't care for any of the characters. And so by the end of it, it was really, I was happy with the ending. I was happy to see like how it all kind of came together and, without giving any spoilers. But yeah, the characters just were not people that I liked. So, so that's my review anyway. And like I said, hopefully you will love it. I think it's a great novel. It just wasn't necessarily one for me. All right, so I hope you have a great day. I'm still working on I just finished Patterson House, which I'll do a separate review for that one. And I'm working on Perm to Death, which is another one for Canuck July. And it's already the 21st, so that will be wrapping up soon. I'll give you a final update on it, and then we'll start in on what I'm doing for August. All right, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.